So there's a common saying that I'm not too crazy about, and it's really common. You'll all know it. You can finish the sentence if you choose. When life gives you lemons, for me, lemonade brings to mind images of warm summer days and innocent children learning the concepts of supply and demand while sitting behind a makeshift lemonade stand. And on this stand are cups halfway filled with a sign that reads, "Lemonade, 25 cents." I like lemonade. It's refreshing, light, and sweet. Lemons? Not so much. You see, after you've lived for a few years, you come to realize that the saying, "When life gives you lemons, make lemonade," doesn't quite capture the depth of the sourness that life can present. Having said that, let me also say that I wholeheartedly embrace the sentiment behind the statement. Life can be bitter. And we have a choice. We can remain bitter, or we can turn the bitter lesson into something sweet. We always have the option to find the sweetness in all that life has to offer. And generally, to get to the sweetness, we have to find forgiveness. Our scripture lesson this morning is from Leviticus. The book of Leviticus is kind of a master's class on leadership. In it, God tells Moses what to tell the Israelites as he's leading them out of bondage. God mentors Moses. He mentors Moses in leadership, moral practices, and probably most important, ways to establish relationships with our neighbors. And you know what? That's a lesson that we just can't seem to learn. Oh, I guess that sounded a little bitter, didn't it? Well, let's focus on something more positive by looking at an example from history of a person who found a way to make a bitter life more sweet. Are you ready? Who am I? All right, this story is offered through the book Her Story by Catherine Halligan and Sarah Walsh. Ready? I was born Marguerite Annie Johnson in 1928 in St. Louis, Missouri. My parents divorced when I was 7. A short time later, my mother's boyfriend viciously attacked me. That attack traumatized me so badly that I didn't speak for 5 years. A friend of my grandmother told me about books, and I loved them. This friend told me that books are meant to be read out loud. So I started reading out loud and found my voice again. I moved to California as a teen, and I began acting and dancing. I was even in a 1950s stage version of Porgy and Bess. But it was because of a friend of mine, James Baldwin, that I turned my talents to writing. And in 1969, I published what was to become the first best-selling nonfiction book written by a female African-American writer. When my friend Martin Luther King Jr. was killed on my birthday, I again retreated into a kind of silence. I did not celebrate my birthday for many, many years. Some sayings for which I am known. My mission in life is to not merely survive, but thrive. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. And this one, which inspired my 1969 memoir, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Who am I? Maya Angelou. Yes, as a little girl who literally lost her voice, became one of the most powerful speakers of our time. She wrote 36 books, and 30 of them became bestsellers. And some of you may remember that she recited an original poem at Bill Clinton's inauguration. Through her writing and her work, she fought for fair treatment for everyone. Her ability to forgive opened up space in her heart for dreaming. And her dreams were for a better future for African Americans, women, and the disenfranchised. Discover your love language. With God as our mentor and following the example of brave creators such as Maya Angelou, let us live a life extending love to all of our neighbors. Welcome to worship. We are so glad you're here.